Hello there, Aries. My name's Frankie, and I'm a clairvoyant, clairaudient, empath, and a medium. This reading's going to be for Aries for July of 2020. Now we got 7 months into the year. Hopefully, it will go by faster than it's started out, huh? For all of you that are new out there, I pull 4 cards for the month. We use the bottom card on the deck for kind of an overall view of the month. And we'll pull an angel card at the end of the reading to hopefully bring everything together for us. I am an empath, so I have a speech pattern. I speak as if I'm you. Makes you all named Frankie, I guess, for the time of the reading. Now look at your moon sign and your rising sign. You'll get a more comprehensive view of the month. I don't believe these cards are going to go week by week. I think they'll blend in and out throughout the month like an overall theme. Now I have a short message for us before I start, and it's funny. It's an old time message, you know, that like a football thing. Take the ball and keep running with it. Get organized. There's a lot to be done, right? Just get organized, a lot to be done. Let go of the past. It's really going to be important. It keeps us out of arguments, period. And the other little part of it has something to do with others trying to help us. Now, even if we do not think we need or want the help, we're supposed to take it. We have good words down here, and I think that's the last part of that message. We have discernment, power, awakening, kindness, and respect. Maybe that's a little to do about just taking the help if we need it, even if we don't need it, rather, I should have said, about, letting go of the past. And that would be the respect word, kind of. Let go of it so we don't get any arguments. I don't know if July's going to be as tense as August was, or as June was. I'm doing it backwards, but really, we've all been through a lot, and it's easy to lose your head or get hot-headed, and we're fire, so that's an easy thing for us to do. But we have good cards. I mean, well, they might be a little tough down here. Some of them might be, but I think overall we're going to come out of this really good. Might be a lot of different things we do, but this first one's the King of Cups. And look at his face. He's not militant at all. He's not a fighting king. This is going to be male or female, right? Because these are general readings, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio type energy. It's going to be someone who is like really like kind to us, kind of like the best mother father thing you could ever want for in your entire life. Could be somebody who's in love with us, because right underneath it is the Two of Cups. So it could be somebody who really loves us. Also, probably whether it's a friend, advisor, or a lover in some manner, or someone that I do love, or someone that loves me. I would know for sure that they would be absolutely trustworthy. They'd be dependable no matter who they were. We could rely on them for just about anything. And that's a really good energy. Sometimes, because it's water sign, sometimes it's someone really cultured, maybe creative, things like that, for the arts. That could be something along those lines. And if it's not an actual person, it's favorable for us, period, if we're in like any kind of artistic pursuit type energy, creative energy, something new that we want to do, maybe even a work thing. By the way, I'm looking at all of these cards down here. It could be a work thing. For some of us, maybe we are back to work or going back to work. This is someone who will help us, or perhaps someone who is helping us through, if you think about it like this, through a really rough time. Some of us are home alone, for the last several months. Others of us have people around us that really love and care about us, that are in the home with us, that we don't want to argue with, after everything that we've went through. So for some of us, I think it might be like a really good boss or something like that, or, a really good friend, family member, that's helping us in our lives. But actually, the feeling comes up like this is someone, male or female, and no matter what, they actually, I want to say, they actually really care about us, really love us, because there's a lot of energy around that still seems a little chaotic to me, and I know this is the beginning of, or is it the begin? Yeah, the beginning of June, and I'm doing these that now, and I think it's going to be really like tough getting used to getting back into the swing of things after all the energetics that have been so chaotic, at least here in the US. And I know all of us, everybody around the world, pretty much, we have the virus situation, and over here we have a lot of crazy things going on, and that it is time for them to end. Basically, this is a new age. We don't need to be stuck in the past anymore, dealing with arguments that should have been resolved a long time ago. So that could be our word discernment, and that word taking back our power and having respect for everybody, because the next card here is telling us to think about all of these things. This is the Hermit card, and the Hermit is a guide figure, right? It's our internal kind of guidance system. So it's there to wait, that waits on us to call and say, come on, Aries, step up to the plate. I'm waiting to tell you, to give you some internal guidance there on which path to go that will help us to awaken, just like our word down here. So the hermit patiently waits. I believe it's like our inner spirit, that tells us or leads the way. But in order to do that, we have to sit down, and we have to ask, and we have to listen to the information, advice, guidance, however you want to say it, that's being given to us. Now, sometimes this can actually come in a physical form, and we've been through a lot, so it can come into a physical form like, I had enough of everybody. I'm closing the door, shutting the blinds, and turning off the telephone and going to sit with ourselves, meditate, think about everything that we've been going through, went through, what we're going through now. But we need to, I'm trying to think, even like going away for a couple of days, to get away from it all. It's that kind of a energy, and we want to gain some perspective. When you get this, gain perspective on, on our life, on, and being open to inner guidance that's coming to us, that's available upon request. And that's what the card actually states. So we would have to be the one, basically, we'll have to be the person that asks and requests of the hermit, like, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to pray, I'm going to meditate, whatever it is that each of us do that's different, or I'm taking some quiet time because I need to know inside my heart What is the next step? Do I want to proceed with when I step out that door and go forward into the future? Because we can have some, rough energy, even like they said in the original message, like fighting. And next we got the Knight of Swords. So we got two people cards in here so far. We don't have any more people, but we have two people cards in here. And swords energy is air energy, so it's mental energy. That's going to be male or female once again. And this is going to be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius type energy. It can mean that we are very aggressive pursuing something or a lifestyle or a job or something like that that allows us to live out our lives in the way we want. And it's that kind of serious energy. We're going after it, we're not giving up, and that's us Aries, that's our spirit. Anyhow, it could be us changing from the King of Cups energy, thinking about who we want to be with, and maybe going into this type of energy for some of us. For others of us, this can be the Knight of Swords can bring you some kind of disturbing or more aggravating news that could relate to us or maybe someone that is close to us, some kind of conflict that's going to be at hand, which was in our original message. Let go of the past, and then we won't have the arguments that are kind of foreseen in the future. And this Knight of Swords tells me about the word discernment. If we think about it, one of our words down here, discernment, using, you know, discernment on who we have around us, who we want to be around us, what we actually want to say before before we speak. But if it says a conflict is at hand, right? It's not physical, it would be mental because it's air energy basically, but it's like aggravating, like those really angry, mad, violent differences of opinions. Like it's going to be my way or the highway. It could be a boss or somebody, or angry messages being sent back and forth. What I always think about with Knight of Swords energy is the boss who wants it done and wants it done yesterday. It's kind of like, that's what I said should have been done 10 days ago, and they didn't even tell me they wanted it done. It's that kind of energy, or they want to hurry a job done. Get it done right away. And the parts to make the project or the project or some kind of, thing that I'm going to put out to sell, saleable object in that manner, and the parts to make it, component parts, didn't come in. And they buy cheaper parts. That's what it makes me think of. They buy cheap junk to put together something that was supposed to be like the highest, the most excellent quality, and then they force us to like make it and send it out, right? And all the customers are sending it right back because it's breaking, but they're pushy, aggressive type energy. Could be someone in our family, someone perhaps in the workplace, like a boss, but if it's not, and it's just us, it can mean we're so focused on like what we want in our intellectual pursuits that we're forgetting all the other parts of our lives. Maybe some of us just want to go after it and go get it. We've been stuck for so long, maybe that's how we're feeling, or we might be too forceful with people and expressing our ideas, and then we get like this negative feedback instead of getting what we're asking for, basically, or what it is that we basically require in our lives. So it kind of tells us maybe ask in a different manner. so that when I'm asking, I'm taking my power back. I'm being respectful and kind like our words here, and I'm not clashing with this head on, and saying, look, bud, I know you're wrong, and that's the end of the story, and what's right's right, and what's wrong's wrong. So it kind of makes us heads up, pay attention to, am I not focused on anyone else other than what I'm going to do or what I want? Or, is it someone outside of me, which it can be very easily. We are not air energy, we're fire. So someone outside of me that's pushing me, that might, cause that anger that may be justified, in some way, but they're not going to listen to it. It's like, do what I tell you to do. So some of us, it might be we forgot everybody else. We are fire signs. We go get it and we go do what it is that we want to do, period. And we are oriented to details and getting things done. That's basically, it is what it is. But our next card here is telling us to really be careful once again, to use our discernment, because this card is a 7 of Swords and it tells us caution in all of our dealings is called for. It's like roundabout, suggests roundabout action, indirect communication, nothing being quite what it seems to be. So this is a heads up card. That's why I need the Hermit energy to think about my decisions. Where do I want to go next? Because this card tells me heads up, nothing's what it seems to be. I have to use my wit because it's sword energy, so it's mental energy. I have to use my wit in order to achieve my aim. So there is a warning to, in this card, avoid overconfidence. We Aries are really confident, but to avoid overconfidence, because that can come in like an arrogant manner, because we're overconfident. So even if we're on the top right now, the card says lack of proper prudence can still do us in. They call this the card of the thief. Supposedly, this dude went into the camp in broad daylight, stole these 5 swords, and left 2. And everyone saw them do it. Nobody's speaking up. So, kind of the elephant in the living room. Everybody's looking at it, and all of them are looking this way, all around it, but not directly at it. So, we have some kind of upper hand over some type of tricky situation, but we still have to exercise caution, right? Caution in handling all of our affairs, kind of like that original message, take the ball and run with it, get ourselves organized, that type of energy, so it's a time to begin new attempts, right? To overcome any previous failures, but we're being told take the ball and run with it, but we can't go in acting like the bull in the china shop, which is actually that Knight of Swords type energy. So discretion, discrimination, diplomacy, that's an evasive action. And I'm going to say discernment, using our discernment, because we have that word down here. We might not like this kind of approach, and we don't. We're very straightforward, but that's the way we can achieve the most success. And, we could get good advice, and one of you guys out there wrote me a note and said, maybe this is, taking 5 good ideas, right, away or with me and leaving 2 that didn't work behind. And that kind of makes sense in a manner of speaking. It made sense to me, but for most of us, it might be that other kind of energy this month, I think a lot of it is coming off of all the chaos that we went through, basically coming off of it, getting everything back in right order, getting everything organized. That kind of energy is what's going to propel us forward. To me, this is the card of going in the back door, like quietly, keeping my information to myself, keeping my lip zipped, like not telling a coworker all my ideas, everybody in the place, this is my new idea, that's my new idea, I'm going to present it to the boss in a couple days, it's almost finished, and they take it and they make a presentation on it, and I'm the one that gave them the idea, so I'm the one working my butt off on it, and they present it to the boss, right? Like it's theirs, that kind of stealing. So it says, take care of my intellectual property, you know? Also, keep your lip zipped, watch your tongue, the elephant's in the middle of the living room. Keep what I am creating kind of quiet. And there's a power in that, a power, because I didn't dissipate the energetics for manifestation of something that might have been really good. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm on top. And that's the overconfidence part. I'm on top. I can do anything I want. Blah, blah, blah. So it's overconfidence instead of confidence. Confidence is me having my power in my hand, if that makes any sense to you. That's the type of energy I think that we're dealing with this year, or for this month. I'm saying for the whole year, but I mean actually for this month, because our next card here is the Fool, and that means we're out of sync with the rest of the world, but in a positive kind of way. We just want to go out on our own way, like full speed ahead, you know? Just like that, take the ball and run with it energy from the original message there. Full speed ahead. Nobody's gonna stop me. We might feel like we're a loner, or our ideas or things are not I'm kind of isolated. That's a feeling. I'm isolated from the general group, group think. I'm isolated from it because I'm getting these different ideas. So our experience of the current situation would be totally different than everybody that was around us. So marching to the beat of a different drummer energy that's the beat of our authentic self that's trying to break free and come through, That's a part of our power here. Break through, come out. Look, he has this little dog, he has a little sandwich on his thing, and usually there's a cliff in front of him, and he's going to walk off that cliff, and the dog's going to go right along with him. But this shows a rose of innocence, a white rose in it, right? So, looking at these cards like the Knight of Swords and the Seven of Swords energy, go within like our hermit. Think about what's going on. Weigh the circumstances. Even if I write them down, what's good, what's bad about this idea I have? Why is everybody else pushing it off me and saying, you're wrong, 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 Aries, don't do that, that's crazy. But if I know in my heart it is not crazy, then I jump off the bridge. If I am unsure in my heart whether have a crazy idea or whatever, I stand back, take off the rose-colored glasses, and I weigh the risk. Maybe I could be angry because somebody at my old work, stole or took from me one of my ideas and they're getting called back to work and I'm not. And they're looking like, oh, I did this, Aries didn't do it, you know. But between that Knight of Swords and the Seven of Swords energy comes the Hermit, right? Kind of the Hermit, and then the Knight of Swords, and then the Seven of Swords. That shows me there may be some problems in there that I can shift through, or I can myself, like, sort through that kind of energy that I could sort through myself. And when I came out of it, on the other end, I will have started, they're saying most of us will start a new or different path. A lot of us will, because we want to be in the energetics that is supportive of us. How do I want to say this? Supportive of us, our ideals, our world, our way of being, right? And that it's really, I don't even quite, really like using that Hermit energy for the very best, using my discernment, standing in my power, respecting and being kind to myself in that awakened state where I know what is right for me. So if I choose, I can jump off that cliff. And I know in my heart that I'm right. And then it feels like that'll all work out because I went within. I know this is oh my, our angel card is daydreaming. I was like, can't make those up. Goes right along with our Hermit. You will more easily hear and receive our messages if you daydream regularly. Relax and open your mind to receiving without directing your thoughts. Just notice any feelings, visions, or ideas as if you were watching a movie. This is the seat of creativity. That's a really good one to go with this reading. I'm not kidding. That's really good because of the Hermit, and the Hermit's telling us, I'm calling you, come within and kind of sort this out, you know? And that's an excellent energy because all of that guidance is coming from within us. The rest of it said, the angels sent you this card because they wish you to be more open and receptive to new ideas. It's important for you to engage in daydreaming now as a way to receive inspiration and wonderful ideas. Don't try to make anything happen, just follow the trail of your thoughts naturally as they flow into new ways of looking at things. Write down your ideas in a special journal. Ask your angels for guidance on which action steps to take to enact these dreams. Take action without delay where you are guided. Be open to the new possibility. Allow yourself to dream big. Give yourself permission to relax and let go. Try something new you always wanted to do, brainstorming with yourself and others for new ideas. That could be part of that original message. At the end, they were telling us, if others want to help us, even if we don't think we need the help, that we're to take it this month. So I think it's a good way. We got a couple tough cards in there, but we do not have any way that we can't overcome it, overcome any kind of obstacle that's in our way with respect to and kindness towards ourselves, standing in our power like our words, using our discernment and our awakening into the energy of that internal spirit that guides us. That'll work. It comes out good every time. Well, Aries, that's our reading for this month. I want to tell you all, thank you for your likes, shares, and your subscribes and your comments. I read each and every one of them, and I really appreciate them. If anyone wants to know more about me, go Neb about me. All the information's over at the website, and that's down below the screen. If you need to set an appointment, that's over at the website also, and there's 2 short videos. One explains prayer class I put out there for you guys, the other the sutras. The prayer classes explains to you how you format prayers, why you do them that way. The sutras are simple thought forms you put in a 5-minute a day meditation, and it will enhance the clair perceptions dramatically. The videos are over at the website. So to all you I met through 4 whole years of doing these YouTubes, and everyone I've met through 32 years of doing this work, I want to tell you all, it's been an honor, a privilege, and a pleasure to serve you, and hopefully see you back here next month. Bye-bye.